Hi everyone, this is Ayush, and I'm here again today to share with you some App Store hacks roadmap for App Store optimization. This presentation comes in light of a comment from a lot of our clients and a lot of our visitors from our last presentation that we did about growth hacks for application. A lot of people told us that they wanted to discuss more about App Store hacks, and they had always heard about good things about how certain tweaks here and there could actually help them rank higher and achieve success with their application. So we planned this presentation, and today it is here, right here, helping them with basically the App Store hacks and what they can do to increase ranking of their application within the App Store. So, what exactly is App Store optimization? App Store optimization is the process of improving the visibility of a mobile app in the App Store. Now, App Store is so competitive. Like you need to understand it. There are 100,000 applications that are uploaded on the App Store every year, and currently in total there would be at least around 500,000, and the number keeps on increasing. So those many applications are currently active on the App Store. Now, if you are building an application and you launch it and you submit it on the App Store, how much chances do you have that people would probably know about it? So, what do you think? Like, it's 1 upon 500,000. That's the kind of probability that your application has if you are just submitting it. Now, that's where App Store optimization helps. 6 out of 10 people discover application by general browsing in the App Store. So basically, people are just going to rely on what comes on their screen if they're searching for a keyword, if they're searching for dating, and they are just going to see the top 10 search results on dating in the App Store, just like anybody searches on Google. So that's where App Store optimization helps, that if it can get you within those top 10 results. So just fasten your seatbelts, because as we move forward, we are going to give you some really good tips and tricks to high ranker in to get high rank in the App Store. So can't afford to ignore ASO as mentioned. So App Store checklist. Here is a list of 10 things to do to rank higher in the App Store. And I'll start with the first one, competition research. So with any search engine optimization technique, basically starts with finding out what your competitors are doing, what people are doing who are right there on the top. You need to take a good look at the apps competing against you and see, okay, if someone is, let's say, ranking in the first 10, why they are doing so and what is the reason that they are right there while you are not. So that starts from competitive research. You have to find out answers to what's making them rank, what are the mistakes they are doing that is probably making them rank 10th as compared to making them rank 5th. Then identify your top 5 competitors and download their applications, study them well, identify the store categories they are in. If you are, let's say, creating an application for dating, are these people under some category such as lifestyle, or they are under dating category, or they are under social category? Read reviews and find clues. Read reviews, basically try and find what people how people are basically able to search about them, how people are able to discover these applications, and what are the clues you can make out of it. It's again connecting the dots. There is no simple formula to make a computer research, but basically you have to learn, you have to relearn, and you have to notice. That's what the magic is. So if you are, let's say, looking into the education category, so there are 3 subcategories: there's paid, there's free, there's top grossing. So mostly people go for free, like, that's the hard truth. So getting on free, if you see, let's say, you are into education mode, you would see that, okay, why Duolingo is on third spot, why peak brain training is on second spot, why photomath is on fourth spot. Of course, you can leave the iTunes application on education, but apart from that, the 2, 3, and 4, you need to find out, okay, on each application, and discover why some application is right there. So that's what App Store optimization, competitive research would involve. Now, coming to another important strategy is keyword strategy. Like, don't just guess the keywords, identify the actual keywords that users are going to use for, and they could eventually be able to discover your application. So Apple definitely gives you 100 characters to define your keywords. Be sure that you are using those 100 characters. You are not just putting 2 or 3 words and simply relying that something magical would happen and your application would be discovered by people. You have to use that space. In fact, do not use spaces between keywords. Use just commas to separate keywords and try to optimize that space. Try to arrange keywords in order of priority and try to put as many relevant keywords as you think that people would be able to search for you. Of course, there are tools that you can use to basically create your list of keywords based on like how much competition against a keyword has and how much traffic that keyword gets. You don't have to repeat keywords and list keywords you think that someone might, of course, be using when looking for your application. So this is a screenshot from a tool that we currently use. I'll come to the tools on the later part of my presentation, but this is the sort of keyword analysis how it is done. That, let's say, if you are looking for something related to a classroom or school, then we are able to basically compare based on traffic how much traffic each keyword is getting. Of course, higher the traffic, better it is, but you have to also check for other parameters like difficulty. So difficulty is a parameter which tells you about how difficult or how probable it is that this keyword basically could be searched by someone. So you need to go for lower difficulty and higher traffic, a sort of combination between the two things, and be able to finalize your keyword list. So that's something, again, a bit of connecting the thoughts kind of thing involved. The whole App Store optimization, I would say, is more like common sense and more like optimizing your efforts rather than any science. And that's what we are trying to give to you through this checklist. So number 3 thing on the list is awesome app title. So having a keyword in your title can improve your app search ranking for that keyword by an average 10%. So that's what Kissmetrics has said from its analysis of more than 1,000 applications. And app title is anyways important because app title is the first thing that any person is going to come across when searching for an application. So what you need to do is try to put almost like 2 to 3 keywords within the title. So let's say if your application is into education, then or let's say if your application is into teaching, so you can put, let's say the application name is tutor, and then add some words, let's say teaching students worldwide, or tutoring classes for maths and science, or something like that, so that you are able to optimize even for keywords such as math, science, or teaching. I'll come to it in more detail in my example on the next slide. But what I'm trying to tell is that you have to find a good balance between the keywords and the branding. The keyword should not be totally polar from what you are exactly doing in the application, but the keywords and the branding should reflect each other, and the keywords have to be put within the title. Do not repeat an already taken app name, because that is anyways going to be rejected by Apple, and place the strongest and most relevant key phrases in the app name, because you of course have some shortage of space here. You cannot keep adding as many keywords, but probably you'll be able to insert 2 or 3 keywords. And just like your idea, your app name should of course be unique. So like I've given an example here, like this is a homework application targeted at students. So if you see how they've used keywords within their titles, like got it, homework, help, math, chemistry, physics. So you can easily see that how keywords have been put into the title. In fact, if you just go a bit down and notice their description, you would see that homework right away comes in their first line as well, like need homework help, get instant math, chemistry, and physics help from our awesome study, most free study help app out there, and so on. So basically, if you would see, the whole picture is that homework, math, chemistry, physics, they've been repetitively put inside the description, inside the keyword placement, so that eventually when the search engine crawls on this application, it gets enough evidences of such keywords and such competency of that application. Checklist number 4 would be your app description. Now, this is where the magic happens. Like, use descriptions to improve your conversions. Give users exactly what they are looking for. See, whenever a user comes across your application, he reads the first two lines about your application, and that's where he decides whether he wants to click further on it or not. So those two lines, the first two lines of your application, are going to be very, very important. You need to highlight social proof as well into the description. That's a good practice, because you can put like how certain user benefited from this application. You have to list the main features of your application and how it works, and you need to put a call to action text such as download now to trigger the action. So these are some to dos when you're building your app description, such as make first two lines very effective, put a social proof, uh, list the main features of the application and how it works, and use the call to action, like what exactly to do after reading all this. So again, I've given you an example of a Class Dojo app where I really liked the way they have put it all together. They have put a very nice line right at the top, which says ready to build an amazing classroom community. Class Dojo is beautiful, simple, safe, and simple communication app for teachers, parents, and students. So that's where they start engaging. Once you open it, they try and show you like the various features of this application. Like, teachers can encourage students for this skill, teachers can bring parents, teacher can do this, and parents can do this. Then they come back to the application Class Dojo, what exactly it does. Then the next paragraph tells about that it's free for everyone and K-12 teachers, and it is in over 180 countries have people have joined. So this is sort of social proof they're trying to give, and that is followed by testimonial that I from some person named Jane E, that I've divided my class teaching as this before Class Dojo and after Class Dojo. I've been doing this, and then they give you the call to action, that how much people love Class Dojo. You can check it out here and join the Class Dojo community today. So that's sort of a comprehensive app description that covers the keywords, that covers full description, that is able to possibly answer all the FAQs of a potential user, is what a class is what app description would call about. The next thing is something that many of the first time appreneurs just forget the importance of, and that's the app icon. Icon would seem like a small thing, which actually probably is not troubling anyone, but your application icon is very, very important. Again, is it is the first visual that people will notice when they come across your application, and a strong icon can actually boost your click-through rate, because the kind of impression it creates in the mind of the person is something that people are going to make a decision upon whether they want to click further or not. So some key takeaways when you're building your app icon would be that icon should be simple and easy to remember. It should reflect the major functionality of the application. You should avoid using text in the icon, but because the real estate in the application icon is so small, probably just use it for a really nice color and a picture. Stick to your brand colors and designs, because it should not be totally out of space, and add border to the icon. That's something many people do forget as well. Like, you need to put a border around the icon, so that whenever it is on a surface that is of the same color, still the icon should appear apparently to the end user. So as you might see, we have given some examples of really good icons that we came across, like life list from You Are Here, from white and yellow pages. So you can see the simplicity of the icon, like in white and yellow pages. It's about directory, and that's what the icon also resembles to. And then you could see the life list application, where it creates an impression about a list. And then You Are Here, because it's about navigation. They've chosen an icon that is related to navigation. So something that reflects the brand, is easy, is colorful, and catchy to the eye, is what you are looking for. Then checklist number 6 item would be screenshots. Now, majority of users make the decision to download an application based on how it looks in the screenshots. screenshots are very, very important. And to be honest, they don't take as much time as much the value they create for you. So you should definitely, put in some time to put really good screenshots. So what are the key takeaways for putting screenshots is that focus on showcasing benefit to the user. Focus on, I see many applications that end up putting screenshots of login screen or register screen, but those screens possibly no one actually cares. What they want to really see is within the application what sort of features are exactly there. Login registration they're already expecting. So do not waste space with such screens. You should focus on the screens that really make sense for the user. Now, focus on showcasing benefit to the user. Use all available space for screenshot. Like Apple gives you 5 space and Google Play gives you 8. Order your screenshot in the sequence of functionalities. This is also important because I come across many applications where they would put, let's say, the most important screen at the first space, but then the second screen is something that is just not connected with the first screen. So the user is just looking at random pictures, which is not a good thing. The screen view should be able to give you a sense of a story. That's what your screenshots should give to the user. And then elaborate by adding some text and make them, of course, look attractive. So this is how I would say that a photo math application that is ranked highly in the App Store has put up its screen. So basically, it's showing how the different advantages within the application or the different functionalities within the application, and the functionality is highlighted right there on the top, like scan formula to get instant result, and then they have shown the screen for it. Enter formula using the math keyboard, get solving steps with explanation, again the screen related to it. So that's how they've tried to paint a picture in front of the user of what he would be getting when he's going to download this application. This brings me to another very important aspect that is related to putting up screens, and that is the video preview, a great marketing tool to drive downloads. So, video previews are something that are placed right there beside the screens within the App Store, and they are a chance for you to create a 1 minute pitch to the user upon why he should be downloading the application. And let me tell you, creative minds have been really creative at this one. And if you check some of the very interesting videos, there have been like really great out of the box videos that people have put with their applications. Some key takeaways or things to remember are that you need to keep it short because again you're fighting for attention. You need to tell a story, you need to engage, you need to focus on selling the feature and functionality of your application. You need to post it on YouTube and Vimeo and promote it on your social accounts, because in itself can actually drive people to your App Store account. And then put in time and effort to produce a really good strong quality video, because if it is done lightly, it's not up to the mark, then it can actually end up being a disaster for you, in fact negating your marketing efforts, because people are going to watch the video, and if they do not find it interesting, they may end up closing the screen for the whole application. So this is how probably the video preview screen for any application looks like. And if you would see, it's right there, even before the screenshots, right there under the application name, a video is there that a person can click and watch through the application features. So it's so important to put a really nice video. ASU checklist number 8 item is categories. So categories is something you don't have to always choose the category right off the bat. So you don't have to go that okay, this is a dating application, it has to go in lifestyle. This is a teaching application, it has to go into education. But you can actually be a bit tricky and play around your game around categories, because choosing the most appropriate category is the best way to reach your target market. So choosing the right category will give you a better chance of being in the related or relevant app section. There are more than 40 to 50 categories that are right there on the App Store. So there is an ample chance that your application could actually be be able to come in more than one category. So that's where you have to take a call upon which category you can choose, where probably the competition for keywords could be lesser while the relevance still remains really good. And you have to check the competition in that target category, understand the competitiveness and popularity of that category. So lesser the competition in a certain category, uh, and higher the relevance that you have with that category, you may end up getting successful. So if you would see, this is how so many categories lie on the App Store. So let's say we are doing anything, for example, for finance. So it could come under finance, or it could come under productivity, or it could come under utilities. So it's your call basically where you want to put based on how your application fit, or it could come, even a finance application could even come under business. So that's how you have to play your game. App Store checklist item number 9 would be localization. Your app is significantly more likely to be downloaded if it is targeted for the specific language. This means that when you are, let's say, launching an application in Spain, if your application is in Spanish, it of course has higher chance to come on top as compared to an application that is in English. So if you are trying to launch worldwide, or if you are targeting a non-English audience, then take pains or take the efforts to basically translate all the language elements of your app into the local language. Localizing your title, description, keywords, screenshots will help you find your application more easily for people who speak local languages and who are going to search using those local words. So if you're just getting started, get the English version of your application up and running smoothly fast, and then one by one start with other countries or languages as you go, because we will not suggest you that you need to localize right off the bat. Make a strategy, people that you want to target, and act accordingly. There are also some third party tools that help you in localization that I'm going to cover during the last part of my presentation. App Store optimization checklist item number 10 is good ratings and reviews are critical to ASO and your app's ultimate success. Of course, the tips that I've given you in a point 129 can help you to a certain extent, but it cannot undo what a bad review can do for your application, because review is something what people definitely look at. I mean, they could skip description, they could skip watching the video, but they are going to see what kind of reviews are right there already for your application. So make sure that when you are launching your application, have your friends and family give you a 5-star review. So at least you get that initial push. Listen and fix problems if there are any, if there is any negative feedback that has come by. Make sure that you are able to take care of it, you are able to reply to that person, and you are able to take actions to make sure that such reviews are not coming continuously. Prominently request feedback from people and within your application. A lot of applications nowadays started prompting users after certain days of usage, like asking them for review, or at certain stage of the application asking for review, which is a good practice if you're confident that you'll end up receiving good reviews. Ratings and reviews also contribute to search engine rankings. So it's a holistic approach. It just cannot be all be gamified with the keywords and with descriptions, but of course these things do take a contribution into it. Ask users to rate your app with pop-ups within the application and anywhere socially. And reviews are, of course, gold mine for new keyword ideas. So, of course, you need to take care. So I'll just share with you some good feedbacks that we received on one of the applications that we launched by the name Ugovi. So if you see the quality of reviews that these guys have been able to generate within 1 week, let's say they got a feedback a 5-star on March 24, then on March 28, then on March 30. So, and this was the first version of the application. So this is where, these sort of reviews, if you are getting for your application, it's a big boost for your application marketing efforts, and it definitely creates that ripple effect that eventually becomes the reason that your application is getting viral and more people have faith in downloading your application. Now, I'll slowly cover a bit about the Google Play Store optimization techniques, because there are some things different on Google Play Store as compared to the Apple Store. Till now, all the points that I've mentioned apply to the Apple Store and mostly do apply to the Google Play Store. But I just wanted to, dedicate a slide to the things that are different for Google Play Store, such as app publishing time is of course less. So basically, you are live right just on the day that you publish it out. The keywords are defined from the app description. Now, this is where Google, of course, has its best search engine. So they do not ask you for keywords explicitly. What they do is whatever description you have put, they are going to make keywords out of it, just like they do for any other website. So that's where app description even becomes more important. That placement of keywords within the app description has to be there. Description carries more weight as compared to Apple App Store because there are no explicits, as I mentioned. Install rate is also considered as one of the ranking factors under Google. So if your application is getting installed but getting uninstalled quickly as well, then you are going to go down within the rankings. And more freedom in terms of video previews is available with Google, because with Apple there are a lot of constraints in terms of when you are putting a video, you are able to follow the guidelines. But with Google, they allow a lot more freedom to help you being creative and put across a video. Now, this is where I come towards the end of my presentation today for App Store optimization. And here are some of the tools that we are going to suggest that you can probably use when you are doing your App Store optimization exercise. There are, of course, a plethora of tools, and these are some of the tools that we personally use. There could be tools that are better than this. There could be tools that are worse than this. But this is just our own secret list I am sharing today. So Sensor Tower is a tool that helps you find keywords based on what a probability of a certain keyword and how much traffic that particular keyword gets and how much is your chance to rank higher on that keyword. So all those metrics Sensor Tower gives you at one place that you can use. App Tweak is a platform that helps you with instant app marketing and ASO report, like what to do with your application. If you give them the link of your application, they will probably tell you kind of a ASO report and how good your ASO is done. Then App Mind is a tool that helps you discover app keywords. App Any helps you in app ranking, analytics, and market intelligence. Jargon helps you with localization, with which you can basically convert any application into native language. And then I Can Localize helps you finding expert translation, basically finding you the right words for the language that you are using for localization. Things to avoid in ASO are changing the app title too often. So you should not be doing it, because every time you're changing it, it basically puts you to the start basically. So again, you have to basically make your way up to the ranking. Too long app title is not a good practice. Basically, again, App Store optimization would suggest a title of 1 to 2 words followed by 2 to 3 keywords. Violation of App Store guidelines. Of course, App Store is going to punish you for that, and you are going to just go down really within a day if you are violating App Store guidelines. Too short description. Do not do that, because one, it does not justifies the story that you want to give. Two, you want to make sure that you are making use of that space amply. Not using all the 5 places for screenshots. This is a reason. This is something I just don't understand why people do it, because you are given a showroom. Why not you are placing your things perfectly into that showroom? It's like that. So please make use of the things of the space that App Store has given you. And keyword stuffing. So of course, I told you the importance of keywords on my previous slides, but this does not mean that you just forget the whole story, but just put in all the keywords. That is not going to work. The keywords have to be weaved within the story that you want to tell to the user. So keyword stuffing does not work. And most importantly, ASO demands patience. ASO definitely something that is developed gradually. It's not something you make changes and you are right there. The guys who are right there, of course, are doing things right. So you have to make your way up to the top. You have to keep optimizing. You have to keep experimenting, because there is no one size fits all kind of formula here, but more like you have to keep telling your story in a make it interesting and make it keywordful. That's what the mantra is. And that's what bring to the end of my presentation. Of course you will have questions, so please feel free to reach out to me. There is my details. You can call me or you can email me anytime, and I would be more than happy to help you with the app store optimization, growth hacks, or even app development. That's all what we do for a living. And this is a bit about us. We have developed and worked with more than 200 applications, and some of the top clients that are mentioned here that we have worked with. So that brings to the end of my presentation and this webinar. I hope you enjoyed it. Please provide us your feedback and things that you want to hear on our next webinar. We look forward to have some you that keeps us really ticking. And thank you so much for listening today. Bye.